What's up guys, Brad here. Doing a little hunt this morning. It's about 40 degrees. I'm actually a little cold. That's what happens when you live in Florida. You don't get used to the cold. It just turned shooting light. It's a lot lighter out on the plots than it is here inside of the blind. So I can shoot a buck or a doe. And there's 3 does out there, but when I scoped them, it's actually an adult doe and 2 of this year's fawns. I'm not going to take her. Those fawns have been out of their spots for well over a month, maybe 2 months. But I'm not going to orphan any fawns. I'll let that mom raise them. They're out there about 65 yards or so. She's very alert the way she was looking. I thought for sure something else was coming out. But those fawns are probably 4 months old. It's perfectly legal, perfectly okay to take any one of those 3 deer. But we have plenty of does out here that haven't had fawns. And I'd rather let the does that have fawns live and continue to mother those fawns. What's interesting is that the doe, the mother, is in the plot just feeding away on everything that we planted. But the 2 fawns keep going in the woods and like nipping on like buds of bushes and also like going around oak trees and trying to find that last acorn. Meanwhile, the mom is just steady crunching the grass. Okay folks, here's your 7:30 update. The same deer that were in the plot over there have now crossed over to the plot over here. So they're about 80 yards away. It's still the same single doe with twin fawns. And they're eating away, and that's what we want them to do. I keep looking over the camera because the deer are right there. But that's your update. My good buddy Aaron is also out here hunting. So there's 2 of us out here. So wish us luck. Hopefully one of us is going to score. Okay, I was facing the other way and wasn't looking here. You can see there's 2 deer in the front plot. So it looks like they're both adult does. I think I'm going to go ahead and take one. Alright, well that happened quick. So I was looking over here at the doe with the 2 fawns. And when I looked back into the front plot, there was 2 adult does there. Exactly what I'm looking for. 2 does, or a doe without a fawn. So I waited till she was broadside, the bigger doe, and I shot. I think I made a good shot. Felt like everything felt good. I was holding steady. And she did run off though, so I didn't drop her in her tracks. So we're going to wait till these feed off to the right, then we're going to go out and look for her. Alright guys, you can probably see the condo behind me. I'm going to go up to the side of the shot, and I see hair already. And I know that she went that way, so hopefully we find good blood. Well, that was the shot. There's the hair. This is where she ran. Oh, there's blood. I see blood. She shouldn't be far then. It's always the part you don't like when you have to track them. Now's when you're looking for that white belly. And I don't see it yet. Alright, you put this camera down and start trailing. Alright guys, I've been tracking for about 30 minutes. And you can probably see over my shoulder I found her. She's hit good. It's just that she was quartering towards me. And I probably should have waited a little bit more, but definitely hit the vitals. When you're back here in these thick woods, it's just not easy to track. But I found her. It's a success. Now I got to drag her out, clean her, and do all that other stuff. All right, guys, I'm back at the truck, and I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on today's hunt. I was watching that one doe with the 2 fawns, the twin fawns, work their way into this other plot, and I just totally lost situational awareness of the plot in front of me. And when I turned around, right there was 2 adult does, no fawns. And that's exactly what we want to harvest out here. We're trying to manage this property. We're looking for those does that are eating the nutrients, but they're not producing fawns. So we get to harvest them, we get the meat, and we get to let the does with fawns walk and continue to teach those fawns so that they are better able to escape predators and things like that. But back to the shot, but it's really hard to get the camera right, and we don't have a big zoom, so I got to have the camera so it's not zoomed, so it catches it. And got to make sure it's on the deer, and I got to make sure that I'm focusing on what I'm supposed to do.
which is get off a good shot, you know, a killing shot, a shot that dispatches the animal quickly. We don't want animals to suffer ever. We appreciate the opportunity to be out here that God gives us, and we want to just do it right. I was on her. I was rock steady. She was quartering two, and I probably should have let her quarter or turn a little bit more so she was broadside, but I had that front shoulder. I put it right behind the front shoulder, and I let one fly. I sent one down the tube. I felt good about it. I saw a puff of hair where it hit, and when I reviewed the film when I was waiting for the other deer to feed off, I don't know, something told me that maybe I didn't do something right. But you know, you play it back in your mind, and it was all good. It played good in my mind, and it played pretty good when I looked at the camera and I zoomed in, and I just felt like she shouldn't have gone far, that she should have dropped. Found the good blood initially, and then it's wet in the morning from the dew, and it's hard to track in wet pine straw and wet brush. And it wasn't really that thick, but the blood trail stopped. So I took a couple vectors and looked for her because I figured she couldn't be far. I felt that I hit her pretty good, and I didn't find her right away. I didn't find that white belly that all us hunters are looking for. And actually, I started to get a little anxiety. I was like, you know, my buddy harvested one last week or the week before, and we had to bring the dogs in to find it. And it wasn't until well into the night that they found it, and it was a morning hunt. So all those things were playing in the back of my mind. And so I just went back to basics and got on my hands and knees and found each spot of blood and found where she was going. And she didn't follow the well-worn trails out there. She didn't necessarily go for the thickest stuff she could find. I was able to find either stuff on the side of a tree or on brush as she bent it over, and just kind of pick my way through the forest. And I didn't go too far, maybe 70 yards or so. And I was actually down kind of low looking for her, and I was, you know, tracing the blood, and then she was actually just over a little hill. When I say a hill, it was only this tall. She was just in like a little ditch. There she was, and she had expired, and there was no drama, and it was just really, really a good animal to take off of this property, as I mentioned earlier. I don't take the act of taking a life with a grain of salt. You know, I put a lot of thought into it. I try to do everything right. And I really want to respect the animal, and that's what I'm going to do. I've got some biology type of stuff to do. I got to pull the jawbone. I got to weigh her. I got to report all that data. Then I want to, you know, get every bit of meat I can off of her. And unfortunately, Google and YouTube don't really like us to show that. That's why I didn't show me dragging her out, and I'm not going to show her anymore. It's not gruesome, but YouTube doesn't like it, and we work too hard on this channel to get any strikes or anything like that. But I've got to get to work, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But remember, life is short. Get out there and enjoy our great outdoors.